Hello everyone, welcome to Michael's vlog. I know it's been a while since I made a video on this channel, but I'm very excited to be back and producing new content on this channel. Now, if you watched any of my prior videos, I know I at least made one video where I talked about, I've been very busy. I've had a lot of contracts to work on, so that was one of the reasons that I hadn't put out any new content on my channel. But this video is just going to be a general video where I just talk about, whatever it is I want to talk about. It's not going to necessarily be about a particular subject matter. So with that out the way, let's talk about some new things that I'm going to be doing in the Philippines. For one, I'm going to be going to visit Cebu. It's going to be my first time actually going there. I've never been there and I'm really excited about that. So that's one of the things that's really new with me. And hopefully I'll be able to capture some video from there. I can't promise I'll do that because it's really just a vacation where I'm spending time with my family here to have fun. But if I have time to do so, I will try to capture some footage while I'm out in Cebu. Some other things that I have going on is I'm currently processing my permanent residency in the Philippines, and that is a lot of work and a pain in the butt. So that would be another reason why you haven't really seen me around, is because I just have to do so many different things right now that really interfered with me being able to produce videos. But fortunately for you today, the reason I'm able to make this video is because I've caught up with a lot of my work, and I've got a small little break here until they send me the next bulk part of the project. And while I have this break, I'm going to try to bring new content to you guys on this vlog. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is I do have some plans to start a business in the Philippines. I'm not exactly sure what direction we're going to go into, and I apologize if you can hear the dog in the background, but we have a next door neighbor who has a dog that loves to make a lot of noise, so you will hear that throughout my vlog, but hopefully you can hear me clear enough where that's not a big issue. So in regards to the types of businesses that I'm considering, one of the big ones that I'm considering, which is much further down the road, is starting a t-shirt business. And the thing with that is it costs a lot of money to get involved with it, but it's definitely something I think that would work really well here in the Philippines. And the reason I'm bringing these things up is I think that if I do get into these types of businesses, whichever ones I decide to go into, it'll give you an opportunity to ask questions and say, hey, what did you do to start your business? What was the process? What was the expenses? What were the difficulties? What were the good things? What were the bad things? So on and so on. So that's the reason I'm bringing that up. Now, one of the simpler businesses that I might start here is maybe a coffee shop, or maybe do a snack brand where I still sell different types of snacks. But there's so many different directions that you can go, based off of my evaluations of the type of businesses that they run here in the Philippines. So that is my side talk about business. Now, one of the other things that I plan to do is on my vlog, I want to use my professional camera a lot more, which you can see that there's a major difference in quality in this video compared to previous videos where I just used the iPhone. So I definitely want to do that more often. And I'm also in the process of deciding if I'm going to buy a lavalier mic, which is like one of the mics that you just clip onto your shirt, and you can take it with you and you can record that audio when you're outside. And that's really important because in certain scenarios I really just cannot get good enough audio where you can hear me when I go to certain places. So having that clip-on microphone will allow me to have mobility and be able to take you guys more places and really give you the full experience of being in the Philippines and giving you like insight into what you might like and what you might not like about the Philippines. Another thing that I know I talked about in the previous video is I really want to focus on learning the language better, especially now that my son is getting a little bit older. He's 2 years old now, and I really have to step up my game for speaking Bisaya. So maybe I'll bring some videos to this channel where I talk about the Bisayan language and teaching you some words that could be really useful to you when you come here, and give you kind of a basic foundation so that if you ever run into a situation where someone doesn't speak good enough English, enough Bisaya to get your way around in the Philippines. So that in a nutshell is some of the general discussion that I wanted to talk about. I'm not really sure what else I want to communicate at this point, but I definitely wanted to get some talking points out there or put something up on this channel so that you know that I'm at least still alive and that I'm going to be bringing some new content to my vlog. And I know a lot of my viewers really enjoy watching the food videos. You know, most people probably look at my vlog and think that it's a food vlog, but it's really not. It's really a combination of different things. In fact, I plan on showing you some video footage that I captured of a guy that sharpens knives, and he just goes through the neighborhood, you know, asking people if they want to have their knives sharpened, and we happen to need ours sharpened. So I asked the guy, hey, can I film you? He let me film him, and I have some footage that I want to show you of that, of how, you know, you have different vendors, so to speak, I guess you could say, that will go around in different neighborhoods and they'll sell their products and services. In this case, the service was for sharpening a knife. So, you know, I think it's going to be a cool video for you guys to see and, you know, get an idea of some of the I guess the culture, so to speak, here is that, you know, you really can go anywhere and sell something. It doesn't matter if you're in your car in the middle of the road driving, you know, someone will try to sell you something while you're in the middle of the road. Literally, they will walk up to your window and they might have food, they may have water. So really, I look at that as a super high convenience. You think that you have convenience in America, but the convenience that you have here in the Philippines when it comes to like food and water, it's like on a whole nother level. You know, now there may be places in the US that have that, but in the Philippines, man, it's literally everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter what type of traffic it is. They're out there, they're selling you something. And there are people that are buying it. So, you know, I personally bought some of the snacks, some of the water. Sometimes it's really hot in the Philippines and you need to drink some water and you're not near a store. You roll your window down and you give them the money and you can have water or a snack if you would like to. You know, one other thing I should say too, and I guess this video is getting longer by the minute here, but I've caught the bus before and I've never talked about that. But catching the bus here in the Philippines is very cheap. You can go like 2 hours and maybe even longer. I don't know what the cost differences are. I've only traveled about 2 hours, but for about $3 or 150 pesos, you can travel 2 hours. In this case, from Davao to Digos, it's about 150 pesos to do that. And I think that's actually for 2 people. So let me clarify, 150 pesos for 2 people for 2 hours. That's pretty cheap, right? Other news that I have for you guys is that the cab prices have went up significantly. In fact, it's so high, I would say it's almost double the cost depending on the distance that you're going. And it's to a point where me and my wife are evaluating if it makes sense to actually buy a car because of the amount of money that would be spent on a cab, because we catch a cab quite often. And for us, you know, if the price doubles and you're catching a cab almost every day, you know, that's a really big expense for us to consider. Another thing that we've been considering too is possibly hiring a chef. But again, that's something that may be later down the road. We're not really sure, you know, when we're going to have that particular situation ironed out. But we're definitely considering that. But it's not set in stone yet. And part of the reason that we're considering that is because, you know, there's pockets of time where I'm just working so many hours, I literally do not have time to cook. You know, I'm always eating out at restaurants, and I really want to have some kind of consistency in terms of the type of food that I give my son. So that's another important factor. So that's the reason we're considering the chef. But I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't want to make it too long. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me come back with a super high quality video and also super high quality audio compared to me filming on my iPhone. Until then, I hope that you guys embed, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos on Michael's vlog. Until then, have a good one.